Mr. President, for many, many years now, the EXIM Bank, as it's referred to, Export-Import Bank, has helped American companies grow and sell their products overseas. And for those same years, the EXIM Bank has enjoyed broad bipartisan support. It was a good idea when it started. It's still a good idea. When it was last authorized in 2006, the EXIM Bank passed the House by voice vote and the Senate by unanimous consent. The consent was offered by a Republican senator. So when Senate Democrats brought a reauthorization of the EXIM Bank to the floor last week, we hoped the legislation would receive bipartisan, bicameral support, as it did in 2006. It passed the Banking Committee here in the Senate unanimously. It has 3 Republican co-sponsors. It's backed by the National Association of Manufacturers, the Business Roundtable, the United States Chamber of Commerce, and various labor unions, including machinists. It will actually reduce the deficit by $1 billion. The EXIM Bank is one of the proposals we shouldn't have to argue over. But I'm sorry to say, true to form, Republican leadership, I will direct it to the House Republican leadership this morning, are once again spoiling for a fight where there shouldn't be a fight. Yesterday, House Majority Leader Cantor called this bill that we're dealing with here to reauthorize the EXIM Bank a partisan, quote, amendment. Mr. President, this bill is co-sponsored by the ranking member of the Banking Committee, Richard Shelby. Senator Shelby has been chairman of that committee. He's now the ranking member. It's real tough to call anything that Shelby puts his name on with a Democrat as partisan. Cantor claimed that this non-controversial common sense measure is derailing efforts to pass an IPO bill that will expand innovators' access to capital. It's simply not true. Leader Cantor should check with his Senate colleagues. Many of them understand American exporters need access to federal financing to stay on a level playing field with global competitors. Just yesterday, this senior senator from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham, said, without the EXIM Bank, quote, our ability to grow in South Carolina is non-existent, end of quote. In 2011, South Carolina exporters sold more than $130 million worth of goods abroad thanks to EXIM Bank financing. South Carolina is the only state relying on the bank to keep business thriving. So, Mr. President, we cannot allow the gulf to widen. The Chamber of Commerce says, quote, failure to reauthorize EXIM Bank would amount to America's unilateral disarmament in the face of other nations' aggressive trade finance programs, end of quote. So I don't know if Eric Cantor has looked at this legislation. What is he talking about? Why does he want to fight about this? Can't we do anything with the Republican-dominated House of Representatives working together? The Chamber of Commerce said, we do have a choice, though. We can compete or we can cooperate. We can engage in yet another unnecessary, unproductive battle as Cantor is picking a fight. He's challenged to a fight. We're not going to fight, Mr. President, because this is bipartisan legislation. We can work together to help American business grow and hire. That's what we're going to do. The choice should not be difficult. We do not want to fight. The Senate will vote on this reasonable proposal today. Almost 300,000 Americans had jobs last year, I repeat, because of this important legislation. I hope those workers come first as Republican colleagues cast their votes this morning.